What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Nerdy Sage. Hope you guys are doing great, you're doing well. Here back with another video. And since last week, or let me just say since I watched the movie when it came out, I've been wanting to make a Spider-Man No Way Home video, specifically the references that were in the movie. I mean, there were a lot of references, and I'm not talking about Easter eggs, I'm talking about references that reference a certain scene, a certain moment in the previous Spider-Man films. And I mean, this movie at this point has grossed about 1 billion in the box office, which is crazy insane for, because this is in the pandemic era. So just imagine if there was no pandemic, if there was no COVID, all cinemas were open, all theaters were open, and people were inclined to go to cinemas more. Like, just imagine how much this movie was going to make. Of course, if you have watched all the other Spider-Man movies before watching this, because that's what other people did. I didn't need to do that because I already watched the movies. And this time I have for you Spider-Man No Way Home, top 10 references that were made in the movie. Not Easter eggs. Easter eggs will be a separate video. That is, if this video does well, I'll be more inclined to make an Easter egg video for Spider-Man No Way Home. So strap in, get your ice chilled Coca-Cola or Fanta or fruit juice or wine or whatever it is that you like to drink, and let's get the video started. So first off, I would like to start with Aunt May's death. Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Aunt May's death just broke me in two. I didn't expect her to die. I mean, I read about plot leaks and all that, and I mean, there were so many plot leaks. There's no way that all of these were going to come through. So just before she went down, I mean, when the glider hit her and she stood up almost immediately, I was like, what is going on? The way and the angle and the speed and the force that they hit her, she's not supposed to get up. But then when she was dying, I was like, so that's why. She saw her nephew and she got that adrenaline rush, and she went to check on the nephew if she was safe. She went to check on Peter, and before she fell down, she said this famous words in 2002 Spider-Man by Uncle Ben. I mean, these words are so famous when it comes to Spider-Man. The weight of the words after Uncle Ben dies.
What happened? But just because you can beat him up doesn't give you the right to. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Aunt May, before dying, gave Peter this heavy and this impactful, words.
You have a gift. You have power. And with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
And I love how she told the other Peters and Toby and Andrew, and they also, acknowledged and remembered the same words, but were told by Uncle Ben instead.
Even after she was hurt, she said to me that we did the right thing. She told me that with great power
comes great responsibility.
What? How do you know that?
Uncle Ben said it the day he died.
And next, we have one of my favorite scenes in the movie, Andrew Garfield saving MJ. It was when that trailer dropped and we saw that scene where MJ falls off and we saw Tom Holland's Peter Parker leap off to go and save it. Everybody was like, nah, it would make sense for, if Andrew Garfield was in the movie, it would make sense for him to save MJ, to redeem himself in some way. And yeah, it really happened, and it was amazing.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
The look in Andrew Garfield's eyes and the tears, just looking at her and thinking maybe he could have saved Gwen, maybe. Like, I know that was running through his mind. It was just a beautiful sight to see Andrew save MJ, someone who was his Gwen Stacy, as he said in the movie.
I lost Gwen. She was my MJ.
Next, we have a reference to Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock scene, the first time he bonded or fused himself with his arms. It was first delivered in Spider-Man 2, of course, and it was referring to his fusion power experiment.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
When he delivers it in No Way Home, he was referring to the Stark arc reactor he was holding.
What have you done with my machine?
Your machine? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What machine?
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. The power of the sun.
In the palm of your hand.
Here we have a reference to What If episode 5. I mean, who would have thought? We kept telling people, yo, watch the What If series, watch it. People were like, it's just an anthology and whatnot. Yeah, here's a reference to What If episode 5, when the cloak of levitation attached himself to Peter Parker. I mean, Dr. Strange was dead. So yeah, the cloak chose Peter.
It's a good look on you.
Really? You think I could pull it off?
Maybe I'll grow into it.
During his fight with Doctor Strange in No Way Home, cloak attached to him just like in What If episode 5, and this time it was they were not allies, let's just say.
Hey, get off of me!
And here we have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man Peter referencing Venom in Spider-Man 3. He talks about fighting an alien ghoul from outer space. And we got, a little hint that Venom will be returning to Spider-Man movies in the future or in the other movies going forward. I mean, the other trilogy that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is supposed to make. In a post-credit scene, we see that part of Venom was left behind, and I think this is going to be something. Andrew also references Rhino, which is the last scene we saw in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And here, unexpectedly, we have a reference to a Black Spider-Man, and of course, who are we talking about? Miles Morales. After Jimmy Fox Electro is depowered and cured, Andrew Garfield reveals his identity to him, and he's like he jokes about how he thought he was black, and he goes on to say that maybe there is a Black Spider-Man out there. I mean, it's the multiverse.
You got that suit. You help a lot of poor people. I just thought you was gonna be black.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I don't apologize. There's gotta be a Black Spider-Man somewhere out there.
Obviously, there's going to be a live-action Miles Morales in the MCU somewhere down the line. So I can't wait for that for that movie, and I can't wait for his story in the MCU in the far future. Obviously, it's not going to happen now. And here we have that brutal scene with Tom Holland's Spider-Man almost killing Green Goblin. I mean, he was pushed to the limits, the pain, the anger. He just took down one person that was so dear to him. Obviously, he has MJ, he has Ned, he has Happy, but Aunt May was his rock. She was family. This last family member, I think, of course, classic Green Goblin, just taunting him. William Dafoe just giving off just impressive performance. Come on, you love to see. Tom Holland's Spider-Man almost killed him, and with what? With a glider. Referencing Spider-Man, in which Green Goblin dies by a glider.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Oh.
Peter, don't tell Harry.
You've seen this reference at least once, and that is the three Spider-Man pointing at themselves. I mean, it's a throwback or reference to the multiverse. Spider-Man meeting another Spider-Man, them being confused and pointing at each other about who's the real Spider-Man. This was just, they didn't make it on the nose. They just did it subtly.
Peter!
Oh, sorry. Did you mean
Peter,
We're all called Peter then, Peter.
Peter Parker?
Same again.
Pick one target. Right.
And we take them off the board one at a time.
Now you got it. Okay, Peter 1, Peter 2. Peter 2. Peter 3. Peter 3. Right.
And we are here with a famous story way back in the 2000s, before Spider-Man 2 production took place. Tobey Maguire had a back issue which almost got him recast for the Spider-Man 2 movie, and this was just an old joke that was played.
You okay?
Oh, my back. It's kind of stiff from all the swinging, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I got a middle back thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in the Spider-Man 2 movie, he thought he had his power back and he jumps off a roof and just falls almost to his death. Now, another reference to Spider-Man 2, in No Way Home, before the cure is made for the villains, Norman utters this line.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself. Octavius knows what I can do.
Referencing directly to the time he was having a conversation with Peter when he dropped Harry at school and met Peter for the first time.
Peter, may I introduce my father, Norman Osborn?
Heard so much about you.
Great honor to meet you, sir.
Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
When the teaser trailer dropped for, the Spider-Man No Way Home, people thought that Peter in the suit on top of the car was actually Tobey Maguire, because he was actually wearing the Tobey Maguire suit that he wore in Spider-Man 3.
Go get him, Tiger.
You're here for Midtown High School's famous student, Peter Parker. Go get him, Tiger. Or should I say, Spider?
Sorry, I can't see anything with your hand in my... Dude! Dude! Dude!
And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This movie was one of my favorite movies, at least my top 5 favorite movies in the MCU as of this moment. It was not all about nostalgia, of course, that's what people thought. It had heart, action. The comedy was sprinkled throughout, but it was not in excess that you lose sight of the most important things in the movie. And it took Tom Holland's Peter in a whole different direction and journey that we never thought we'd see in the MCU. I mean, when you check Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, you can see that the stakes are much higher. Come on, this is the multiverse we are dealing with. So let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite scene in the movie? What movie are you anticipating for next year? Are you excited for that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Ready to explore all the crazy things that are in the multiverse, or the cameos that I think we are gonna get? What was your favorite Disney Plus show and anticipated Disney Plus show going forward for next year? And maybe, as always, Nerdy Sage here. See you in the next video.